Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining me today. My name is Jim Coppinger with ZenTek Consultants, and today we're going to be talking about creating enlarged plans inside of Bluebeam Revu, a very useful little tool. So before we get into it, just a few housekeeping items. Because this is a public forum, we do keep the students' microphones and telephones muted, but um, if you guys have any questions or concerns, anything you want to ask about as we go through the presentation, you can just go ahead and type that either into the chat box or the question box that you have in your go-to control panel. I'm not going to stop and answer those in real time, but if there are any questions at the end of the presentation, I'll be happy to go back and answer those for you. So with that said, let's go ahead and get rolling with today's presentation. All right, for those of you who haven't worked with us before, we appreciate your being here today. We are ZenTek Consultants, and we are a premier Bluebeam sales partner. We provide sales, technical support, just about anything you need in terms of Bluebeam, but we also do quite a lot more. We are CAD specialists in both the architectural and civil world. We're Microsoft certified solutions providers. And we do just a million different things, really. Whatever it is in terms of architecture, engineering, construction, or manufacturing, we're here to help you guys, and we hope you'll hit our website and see all the great things we can offer for you. All right. So today, what I want to talk about is dealing with enlarged plans. And really, when it comes down to whether you're working in construction or design or whatever, a lot of times we just wind up with PDFs that are at too small of a scale for us to effectively work in those tight areas where we've got to put in a lot of measurements and notes and comments, etc. Right? So I'm going to show you today how we can use Bluebeam Revu to very, very easily, without a whole lot of effort, just go in, pull out those areas, enlarge them, scale them, and add all the markups and real size items and design features and tools that you want to work with, okay? So with that said, it's demo time. I'm just going to go over. And again, this should be a relatively short little demo we're going to do here today. That's a great thing about it. It's a pretty simple setup. So like I said, it's not uncommon for you to go in and have a document like this, just a very simple floor plan, which is fine. Right, but the issue that you run into is when you start to go in and you want to really start doing alternate designs, alternate layouts, filling out different areas. A lot of time you wind up with very small areas. You can't fit all the notes and the comments, everything that you want. So say, for example, here in the center of this building, I've got the elevator pit in here. Maybe we got to do some design changes. We got to mount some panels on the wall. I have a whole bunch of notes and comments and things that I need to do in here, and there's really just not enough space for me to do that. Okay. Also, a lot of times what will happen, right, particularly when you're working in, apartment buildings and hotels and things that have kind of repetitive structures. And it's not just, restricted and limited to the architectural space. It can be working, individual parcels and lots in the civil world, whatever the case may be. You've got those repetitive areas where you need to do each one as their own unit, right? There is going to be minor changes to each unit, whether it's, like I said, a lot in a block or whether it's an apartment, right? And you need to be able to pull each one of those out and do them as separate plans. It's a very common concern. So really here in Bluebeam, they make it very, very simple. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by taking this elevator area, and I'm just going to create an enlarged plan of it. And in order to do this, all we have to do is go to the edit dropdown and go right to this snapshot tool. Right, and then we can just click and drag a rectangular area around the space that we want to work in. So I'm just going to go to there. And you see how it kind of flashes blue for a minute? What that did is it actually just did a screen capture. It copied that whole area in blue out to the clipboard. So now what I can do, right, is I can zoom out, and if I want to do an enlarged plan here, now I can just use my copy and paste, my Control V, and you see it brings in a little screenshot of that area. Now what's nice about this is that Bluebeam does a really good job of maintaining resolution change to this. So you see I have control points on all four sides, so I need this as big as I can get it on this document. So you see I can just stretch it out to that area. Okay, I can even go in, I can make new plans. So if I want to go in, and like I said, if this was an area, I'm just going to throw it on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. If this was an area that I needed to be able to work in and set up and structure, maybe put into a report or put in some kind of a spec page, I could very easily just paste that into a whole new document, right? And use this for whatever I need. See, I can make it as big as I need it to be without any kind of concern. All right, so I'm going to go back to the floor plan. Right? Because one of the things that comes up when you do this, right, is that people like it, and so that's great, but now you notice it's still showing up in my markups list. It's still an object that can be moved, it can be deleted, right? One of the real nice things about dealing with this in Bluebeam is that I can now make that enlarged plan part of the underlying PDF just by right-clicking on it and saying flatten. Now you see it's no longer an object. It doesn't show up in my markups list. It's actually part of the background. It's no longer selectable. I basically just created an entirely new enlarged plan from the primary floor plan in just a few seconds. Okay. Now I've got a lot more space to be able to go in and add notes and comments and layout and draft things. Now the key to this is when you're dealing with these enlarged plans, right? Obviously it's at a different scale than the remainder of the drawing. And if all you're doing is markups and commenting, maybe not that big of a deal. But if you want to do any kind of quantity takeoff, estimating measurement, or doing, using any of the Bluebeam, sketch to scale tools, right? You want to start laying out, panels and other items, furniture, fixtures, whatever you're doing, to real size and in real locations. Right? It's a very easy thing then to just go here into the measurements tab. And what we can do is we can create viewports. Okay, so I'm just going to create a new viewport here, and it says select a region. You're just going to drag a rectangular region, and I'm going to draw it right around that area. Okay, and you can give your viewport a name, and we'll just call it our enlarged elevator plans. Okay, simple enough. Right, and I can go in and I can either do a preset scale, but it's going to be hard to do because I don't know what that scale is. But what's great here is that I can actually go in and do a custom scale for this, right? And I can go ahead and I can just calibrate it. Right? So I can just calibrate it and pick any 2 points, and I know the width of the hall. I know that from here to here, that is a 10-foot wide hall. So I can just make that a 10-foot wide hallway. So you see inside that blue area, my scale is set so that that is a 10-foot wide hallway. So if I go in and start measuring things, so if I go in and I measure from elevator door to elevator door, look at that, it's actually 10 feet. So anything that I create or draw inside that viewport in that enlarged plan is going to be to scale. Right? Even though the rest of the drawing is at a different scale, I'll just throw that dimension back on there to show you. Okay, that if I go in and move that dimension outside of that box, see that's actually 47 feet at the overall scale we were. So I've taken it almost 4 times, and you see when I go back, puts it right back to 10 feet. Okay, so it's a very easy way to do that, and you can do that with as many different plans or as many different areas as you need within your document. Right? I can just easily go back in and do the whole thing again. Just go to edit, grab a snapshot. Right? Maybe I need to do an enlarged plan of this office building, or this office in here. Right? I'm just going to turn off my snaps here real quick so I'm not snapping the things I don't want. And I'll say, look, I need to do an enlarged plan of that area. And it flashes blue. That means it's been copied to the clipboard. Then I can paste it in here. I can also rotate it. You see up here at the top, I have the ability to rotate this down, so I can rotate it down so that it's straight, so that it's no longer angled. And I can just kind of, like I said, move that into the corner, right? And then just proceed to, enlarge this as much as I need to in any given direction. Okay, make a very, very large plan, and then just flatten that in. Okay, and you see that's now at obviously a very completely different scale, but that's not a problem either. I can just go in and build another viewport right around that one just by selecting that area. Okay, I can go in and give it a name. This is our we'll call it our enlarged security office. Okay, and I'll just calibrate that. Okay, and I know that my door, I'll just use the door for calibration. I know that from here to here, right, that is actually a 3-foot door. So I can just go ahead and say apply. And now that's set. And now you see I can go in and check my dimensions and just measure my door from here to here. Oh, look at that. It is actually, I zoom in on there, I kind of dropped it on, pull it to the side. It's a 3-foot wide door. There you go. Now everything inside that blue space is set to scale. Okay. It's as easy as that. You can just go in, you can flatten them. You can go in and create as many as you need. You can copy them to other documents and flatten them there, change the scales there, right? As many times as you need on as many different plans, you can pull out every single piece of any PDF document that you have, use those to generate for yourself some very basic, very simple floor plans. Right? It's a really, really nice way to be able to, get into pulling out those small sections. Like I said, use them in, enlarged plans on the drawings themselves, or like I said, if you need to pull them out and put them into reports or specs or whatever else you need, creating your own details of tight areas, all very simple with just a simple drag and click operation. Doesn't require a whole lot of effort. All right, see, so I told you this would be a very simple, easy demonstration today, so no worries there. All right, so I don't see any questions coming in. right? So again, I didn't expect there really would be. Like I said, you don't get much easier than that. It's really 2 clicks of the mouse and you're ready to go with your fully developed enlarged plans across any PDF. Okay. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. If you do think of any questions or have any concerns, or if you need help with whether it's purchasing, setting up, configuring, customizing, or training on Bluebeam or any other your AEC technology, just feel free to reach out to us at any of the contact information up there on your screen. Other than that, thank you guys for joining today, and I hope you have a great day. Oh, wait, I did get a question. Question from Olga. Olga wanted to know, can you add a title under the view? Oh, absolutely. You can use that just like you can for any other document. From there, it would just be going in to Bluebeam and just adding in under your basic markups. You're just going to go in and put in a text box. So if I wanted to go in and just throw that in, right, and just call out my, enlarged plan, right? Excuse my poor typing, right? But from there, I can just go ahead and adjust the properties on that and make that as big or as small as I need it to be. So if I wanted that to be a much larger type setup, see, then I can just go in and fix my very bad typing, right? And I can put in the enlarged plan, and I can put in the text, and I can adjust that and make it centered, and I can underline it, right? And do all the great things that you want to be able to do. And same thing, when it's done, I can go ahead and flatten that and make that part a permanent part of the plan as well. And I can even list the scale and everything else I need in there. Good question, Olga. Okay. All right. All right. Other than that, oh, nope, I got a follow-up question. All right. It would be just text. Will it automatically show the scale? No, in order to work with that, you kind of have to manually show the scale. Yeah, it's just text. You just have to manually show the scale. It's not a dynamic link to the size of the dialog box. Okay, you just have to add that as text. Good questions. Yeah, no problem at all. All right, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.